English Springer Spaniel lesson number 2 with Molly. Hi, my name's Charlie Thorburn. Welcome to Mordor Gun Dogs. This is Molly, who we met a few weeks ago. She's already doubled in size since then. I mean, I'm feeling it on my arm. I need to go to the gym more often, or sometimes one day ever. Anyway, so what are we doing with Molly? Molly's progressed from being in the puppy kennels. She's now had all of her jags, so she's outside in one of the puppy pens. So she spends her time messing around with a group of Labradors, red Labradors at the moment. She's getting lots of playtime with my kids and various other visitors. But training-wise, I haven't been out with her training since the last video. So I just want to follow in detail these dogs of how much we're actually doing or not doing with them. So I literally haven't done anything with her since her last video. We've done a few demonstrations and she hasn't come. We've taken a Labrador instead, although she probably will come and do a demonstration in the near future. Oh, a big burp. She's just had her lunch. So we're just encouraging her to follow us around. Molly, 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 Molly. Now she knows her name pretty much, but we're just saying it. Molly, Molly, Molly. We're saying her name whenever she's coming towards us. I'm not just saying her name inanely around the house. When she's running away, I wouldn't say her name. Get her attention. Molly, Molly, Molly. So we're not saying her name when she's running away. We're getting her attention with our squeaking through our lips, backing away from her, clapping our hands, backing away from her. Molly, Molly, Molly. So she knows that she's Molly. Sit. Good girl. Now she's learned how to sit for her food. So we're just encouraging that. Sit. Good girl. We're encouraging that sit. Not too often, but 2 or 3 sits. Let her run around. 2 or 3 sits again. Let her run around. And then every so often we reward that with a little retrieve. Picks up the retrieve. She brings it back. Now I'm not letting her run off into the middle distance with it, but I'm also not grabbing it off her. I'm allowing her to hold it and enjoy that experience of holding it. She drops it, so I let her pick it up again if she wants to pick it up. I'm using it to encouraging her to get her nose on the ground. I'm using it to play a game with her and engage with her. Molly, Molly. So another little bit of running around. It's all too tempting to throw 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 retrieves for her, but we just want to be doing 2 or 3 and more. It's about getting her to follow us around. Molly, Molly, sit, sit, get out. As soon as she picks it up, she's having a play. Good girl, come on in, come on in, come on in. High-pitched voices very commonly used when we're talking to puppies. It doesn't need to be like la, 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 crazy, crazy, because you're going to make them crazy, crazy. It's just at the key times. She's playing with the ball. She's thinking about picking it up. Just as she picks it up, I go, Molly, 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 and it or something, and she just like, oh, that sounds exciting, and she wants to run back. If I say that if I use that high-pitched voice too often, then what happens to it? It becomes just background noise. It becomes yet another noise that you're making. Another boring kind of, they're just yelling and they're hollering and they're screeching. We want to make sure we're using these things at key times. So when she's running for the ball, just shut up and let her get on with it. As she's picking the ball up, just shut up and let her get on with it. But as soon as she's got the ball, encouraging her back to you. Now, I wasn't having to back away from her just then. I was just down on my knee. But if she picked it up and looked at me and went, what are you going to do? I'd have been up and down to that hedge as quickly as I possibly could. Okay, so as I got up, I'd have been like running away, so she was engaging with me and following me. You've got to be really quick to react. If you sit there going, good girl, and she's just running around with the ball, running around, you're saying, good girl. What are you doing? You're praising her for not doing what you want her to do. People that, oh, but I'm encouraging her to come. She doesn't know that. She just hears you going, you're a good girl for running around. You're a good girl for not coming. You're a good girl for running around. You're a good girl for not coming. That's all she's hearing. What we want is we want to make sure she's coming to us And then we can say, good girl, or Molly, Molly, encouraging her to come in our direction. As soon as she stops and she goes off in a different direction, I would be turning, getting back towards her, getting her attention, clapping my hands. As soon as I've got her attention, backing away again. So the only time I'm saying good girl or Molly or positive vibes like that is when she's coming towards me. Okay? Molly, good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Molly. Molly, good girl. Well done. And then the rest of the time, just allowing her just to bimble around the garden, going for a wee, etc. But I'm always on the move, okay? I'm always walking away from her, getting my step count up, encouraging her to come with me. You can imagine up here with all these dogs, we do a lot of steps in a day because we're always on the move, because we're making ourselves more interesting. If I just stand here on my phone, she's gonna sit there for a bit and then she'll be like, oh, this is crap, I'm off to do my own thing. So I've got to keep making it fun for her and encouraging her to come with me. Sit. Get out. And you can see the difference between 2 weeks ago when I threw a ball for her. She barely even saw it. Now she's like, oh, because she's grown. Good girl. She's grown. Her eyesight's better. She's just more worldly already. Just in that 2 weeks, she's gone from being a teeny little, like, slightly goofy little puppy who can't see much beyond the end of her nose to quite an alert, sparky little number who definitely knows what's going on. She's got a nose on the ground. She knows she's somewhere different, and she's ready for work and ready to learn something. So what are we not doing at this stage? She is nowhere near a lead. She hasn't seen a lead. She hasn't heard the word lead. She's definitely nowhere near a harness. We haven't done any crate training or anything with her, which obviously if she was at home in the house with you guys, she would be doing that. She'd be in a crate, but she's not on a lead. She's not on a harness. She's not out for walks. She's in the garden in a small area. You can see now, this is relatively, for us, this is quite a small area, but it's a good size pen for training the dog. It's probably about the size of a tennis court. I talk about a tennis court quite a lot just because it's something that everyone can kind of visualize. And if they can't, they can always go and find one so they can visualize it. But if your garden's half the size of this or quarter of the size of this, at this stage, it's still plenty of space to be doing what we're doing. You can run from the bottom of the garden into the house to get her to follow you. You can run back out into the garden to get her to follow you back out again. You can get her to engage with you by going round the side of the house, going into the house and hiding as soon as she comes and finds you, running back out into the garden. What we're not doing is just standing there doing nothing, allowing her to become independent. And what we're certainly not doing at this stage is putting her out in the garden on her own and shutting the door and leaving her do it, because she will get too independent. Now, that is what we do in our puppy pen situation, because that's how we find it best to manage a group of young dogs. But that's not advisable with a single dog on its own, because you make them too independent, because they learn to be on their own. Our lot don't learn to be on their own because they're with their siblings or with their adopted siblings, in Molly's case, because she's with Chili's litter of red Labradors. And we don't want them to be on their own because we don't want this independence happening too early, because then they don't need us anymore. Whereas Molly's with her pals, she's playing with them, she's engaging with them. And then when we come along, we're like the novelty, okay? So that's very important. I hope you've learned something. I hope you're going to enjoy watching Molly turn into a superstar. And remember, you get out what you put in. We'll see you all next time.